the main thing is, I'm not going to sit here and talk about everything I love about GT because I could be here all day. What I'm going to talk about is, in terms of power scaling, where people seem to fuck up with GT. Now, it's not even the fact that people say that God Goku would completely obliterate all of GT. Where this fuck up happens is at the very beginning of GT, okay? Now, at the end of Dragon Ball Z, Goku and Oob go out to train. And in some, I guess, I looked up online, and my headcanon is that they were training for 5 years, but there are some sources online that say the time gap was not 5 years, it was 10 years from Z to the beginning of GT. Now, for my headcanon, the reason why I say I used the 5 to 6 year time leap, I like to believe that because if you look at how old Oob is, he looks like he could be around like 11 years old. And if you add on 5 years to that, he would be about 16 to 17 years old. And in the first episode of Dragon Ball GT, Oob does look like, you know, he's grown up. I mean, he could even be older than that. Some could argue that, you know, he was probably 19 or 20 years old, and maybe there was a longer time gap than 5 years. Because if you look at how skinny and how small he was from the end of DBZ to the first episode, I mean, he's bulky. I mean, he's big. So one of the things, the first thing that people fuck up with the scaling is that, if you remember, in the first episode of Dragon Ball GT, Mr. Popo says that he had to create a new space for Goku and Oob to fight because the Earth could not handle their training. That implies that Goku and Oob fighting at their full power would probably destroy the Earth, and that the Earth can't withstand their full strength. This is a very key thing to note, that almost I don't hear anybody like mentioning this, and I don't know whether it's just people are ignorant, or they just don't watch the show, or you know, I don't know what it is, but this is a huge feat. I mean, these guys are at this level at this point in the story. The first episode, they're not fighting on Earth because they could destroy Earth with their full strength. Now, it's nothing universal or anything like that, but this is before we even get into GT. So Mr. Popo creates this new space because, as we know, the hyperbolic time chamber is the size of Earth, which means that they would end up destroying the hyperbolic time chamber by fighting in there at full power. The same way that Vegeta destroyed the hyperbolic time chamber in Super Saiyan Blue. I don't know if he needed Blue to do that, but he did destroy it in one of the episodes in Dragon Ball Super by himself. So that right there alone is something that you could probably compare loosely. I mean, I'm not going to be a fucking, you know, an idiot and just say, oh yeah, you know, that automatically means that this Goku is already at the first episode stronger than Super Saiyan Blue. But it's something to think about, to think that Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta blew up the time chamber with his power, and that Goku and Oob were essentially going to destroy the time chamber, or they did already, for that matter, on that first episode of Dragon Ball GT. Now, this new space is actually below the time chamber. It's actually like in the middle of the Kami's lookout post or whatever. So they're fighting in that lower part of it. And the thing is that for them to actually fight in full power and not destroy the whole lookout means that that space must be bigger than Earth. See, the thing is, I know that with GT it's really hard to scale things, but in my head I'm thinking this has to be a galaxy-sized area for these guys to be fighting in. It wouldn't make sense for the area they're fighting in to be double the size of Earth or 4 times the size of Earth. I mean, yes, it could be 4 times the size of Earth. That would also be something that I could see someone making an argument for. But the fact that, you know, the way it's just portrayed, and the fact that Mr. Popo is magic, and it would make sense for them to fight in a galaxy-sized area, I would say that they were fighting in probably a galaxy-sized arena. Now, we know that Goku can't really breathe in outer space because he's a Saiyan. Later on in GT, Goku is seen in outer space when he's fighting Super Android 17, and he isn't suffocating. But you know, just for the sake of the video, you know, it's not like they could have went out into space to go fight into space. So I believe that where they were fighting at had to have been galaxy sized, and it looked like it was something going on down there that had to be, you know, space related or whatever. But yeah, you see, the thing with GT is that a lot of the things in GT are not explained very well, so people immediately lowball GT and shit on it. But just from this feat alone in the first episode, them in their base forms, you know, threatening to destroy the Earth just simply by training at full power is something to definitely note. Because this is before Goku goes out and fights any of the enemies in during their whole like galaxy trip. This is before Baby Vegeta. This is before Super 17 and before Omega Shenron. So the thing is, yeah, next time you want to lowball GT and say that God Goku from, you know, Fukatsu no F or God Goku from Revival of the F arc could solo all of GT, just remember that on the first episode, these guys were already planet busting in base form, simply training, and that they were already fighting in a galaxy-sized room. So that's what, you know, all I wanted to say in this video. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below about this feat. Do you think that this is a feat that matters, or do you think you know, you think I'm just reaching? Honestly, I don't. I feel like it's definitely something to note here when you're scaling GT. And yeah, so that's all I have to say. I'll probably make future GT videos sometime down the line, because I do have a lot to say about Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta versus Caulifla. I mean, or Kale. I forget who it is, but you know, there are people out there who are fucking actually believe that Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta would lose to one of those female Saiyans, which is absolutely just fucking crazy, like incomprehensible. But yeah, that's all I had to say. So let me know what you guys think about Goku and Oob training for that many years. And yeah, so let me know down below in the comments below. Hope you guys are blessed. Peace out.